Okay, so I'm going to do my abbreviated machine check. I want to check my ambu bag, my bougie are here. I want to check my pipelines. I'm going to check my suction, make sure that it works and that it reaches my patient. I also want to check my scavenger, make sure that it's between the max and the min, my CO2 absorber. Yes, sorry. My scavenger, make sure it's between the max and the min, my CO2 absorber. I want to check that it's not exhausted. I also want to check my circuit has no kinks or breaks and it's new. There's no condensation. I'll go ahead and include it. I also want to see that my CO2 sample line is properly connected. I just want to check that my flow meters are working properly. And I also want to check my vaporizers, make sure that my manifold interlocking system works. Both of them, and it does. The filler caps are on, and then they're between the max and the min. I'll go ahead and check the integrity of my circuit. Close the APL to 50, pressurize it to 30, make sure that it holds. And it does. Open my APL all the way, and then I also want to check my parameters. Very good. Great. So I have my tabletop set up, and then I also have my drugs ready. I can do my patient interview. Good morning, my name is Sarala. Today I'll be your student anesthesiologist assistant. I'm part of the anesthesia care team along with the anesthesiologist and the AA. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions from your pre-op?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so please can you confirm your name and date of birth?
Yeah, January 31st.
Okay, and it looks like you're here for a right lumpectomy, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, awesome. Is it all right if I listen to your lungs and your heart?
Yeah.
All right, so I would listen to your lungs, I would listen to your heart. I would also ask you to open your mouth and look side to side, up and down. Is there any pain there?
No problem.
Is there anything in your mouth that could come off?
Nope.
All right, great. And when was the last time you ate or drank anything?
9 p.m. last night.
All right, awesome. So from your history, I see that you have acid reflux and headaches. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, and you also take Tylenol and alprazolam daily. Is that correct?
Yeah, occasionally.
Did you take those today?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and I also see that you've had a tonsillectomy in the past. Do you know if there were any complications with anesthesia with that?
Nothing in
Okay, great. Is there anything that you forgot to mention or any questions that you may have for me?
there.
All right, awesome. So we can do the anesthesiologist briefing. Good morning, Dr. X. This patient comes in for a right lumpectomy. I think we can do general anesthesia with an ET tube, standard induction drugs. We can do 1 IV. I don't expect a big blood loss. However, this patient does have acid reflux, so I'm thinking we can do a bicitrus shot pre-op. But aside from that, I think everything else should be good. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Let's get started.
Sorry?
We can get started.
Okay. So patient comes in. Good morning, Mr. Moneyman. I just want to check that you have some monitors on you correctly, okay? So I'll check that I have my blood pressure cuff, and I'll go ahead and run it for 3 minutes. And then I also want to check that I have my EKGs, my pulse ox, as well as my peripheral nerve stimulator. I'll also check that my IV is running, and I'll go ahead and I'm not going to run it because it's leaking. So I'll go ahead and begin pre-oxygenation with this disconnected. Okay. So I'll go ahead and reconnect my mask. Mr. Benjamin, I'm going to ask you to take some big deep breaths, okay? I'm going to turn this. Okay, the baseline is 115/78. At this point, I'm going to call my anesthesiologist, let him know that I'm about to induce my patient. Hello, I'm in OR1 if you'd like to be here for induction. And then once my end tidal O2 is above 90, I know that I can begin induction. Does my anesthesiologist want to be here? I'm going to assume no. So I'm going to get my induction drugs. All right, so since my patient is above 100% O2, I'm going to go ahead and push 50 of lidocaine. I'll also push 100 of fentanyl. And then finally, I'll push 150 of propofol. All right. I also want to cycle my blood pressure. Oh, it's measuring right now. Make sure that I want to see how my patient reacts, and then I'll continue masking him until he goes to sleep and I see that he's not. Mr. Manyman, are you awake? He's not awake, so I want to push my rock, but first I want to check that I can bag him. I want to see some tidal volumes. And I do see some tidal volumes, so I'll go ahead and push my rock. I'm going to do 40 milligrams of rock. Alright, and then I'll continue bag massing him for around 2 minutes until he loses the train of force. Does he have any twitches?
0 to 4.
Alright, great, so I can be ready to intubate him. Give him one big deep breath before I intubate him. Thank you. Please. Push into a proper depth. Inflate my syringe. So it pushes back on me. Great. Disconnect my syringe. I'm going to connect my circuit. I want to give him a few breaths so I can see I'm in the right place. I want to auscultate the lungs bilaterally to make sure that I'm in the proper place. I should hear sounds bilaterally. I also see my end tidal, so I know I'm in the right place. I'm going to go ahead and put him on auto. I also want to cycle my blood pressure again to make sure that nothing happened during intubation. I'm going to increase my gas. And I'll also go ahead and tape the tube and tape the eyes. At this point, I'm also going to put in my temperature probe. My bear hugger is already on him, so I'll go ahead and clean my station chart if I need to, and then I'll go ahead and put up my drapes. At this point, I can get ready for timeout, but first I want to check that I have proper anesthesia. I give my fentanyl, my MAC on board, then I also want to check that I still have proper muscle paralysis. Do I get any switches?
0 to 4.
0 to 4, great, so we can do the timeout. This is Mr. Miniman, MR number 12345, who was born January 31st. He is here for a right lumpectomy. He has no known allergies, and he was given 2 grams of ANSA pre-op.
Can you start?
Yes.
Surgeon gets started.
So as soon as the surgeon makes an incision, I want to cycle my blood pressure. I see my patient is desatting. So I'm going to go ahead and check, put him on manual, 100% oxygen. I want to check if there's a leak. It looks like the bag is inflating and deflating and the bellows are up, so I don't think there's a leak. I'll go ahead and listen bilaterally.
So wheezy and diminished?
Wheezing?
Yeah, wheezy and diminished on both sides.
Okay, so I think my patient is probably having a bronchospasm, so I'll go ahead and connect this.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and do 10 puffs of albuterol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll go ahead and ventilate him. See if that improves. It's going up, so that's a good sign. All right. now that his PO2 is, I'm going to put him back on auto and make sure that I fix my flows again. So he's back. Alright, great. So my patient heart rate is a bit high, it's at 100. I want to cycle my blood pressure. It's currently measuring. So I'm gonna do esmolol for the heart rate because it's kind of high. I want to wait to see the blood pressure, but it's taking a while. Okay, so actually they're a bit hypertensive, so I'm gonna do labetalol. I'm gonna go ahead and do 5 of labetalol, 5 milligrams. See if that helps.
Alright, surgeon's closing skin.
Oh, surgeon's closing skin. All right, first thing I want to do is put in my bite block, and then I want to get ready to give my reversal drugs. Let me get them ready. Robenol, Histamine, Nurofen, Reglan, and Toradol. But first I want to check. Is the surgeon done? Can I put the drapes down?
He's on skin.
Oh, okay. So I want to check that I have
2 out of 4.
2 out of 4. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 of Robenol. And 5 of neostigmine.
Okay. Surgeon's done now.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and put down the drapes after giving my neo. At this point, I also want to give him Zofran and Reglan. I'll do 2 Zofran and 2 Reglan. And I also want to do 1 cc of Toradol. If the surgeon is it okay with the surgeon if I do Toradol?
He's a good Toradol.
Okay, so I do 1 cc of Toradol, or 30 milligrams. And at this point, I'm going to increase my oxygen to 100%. 100%. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the temperature probe. I'm going to suction the mouth. And I want to get ready to call my anesthesiologist, but before that I want to check that I have proper reversal. How many twitches is it?
4 out of 4.
4 out of 4. I also check my tetany. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there a fade?
No fade.
No fade. Alright, great. So I can get ready to call my anesthesiologist. I'm going to turn off my gas. Hello, I'm an R1. If you'd like to be here for emergence, I'm going to increase my flows to 8 liters per minute. And I also want to get ready to x-ray my patient. I'm going to take out my my bite block. He's awake, so I put him on manual. I want to check my respiratory rate as well as my tidal volume. So I'm going to ask him to squeeze my hand. Mr. Miniman, can you squeeze my hand?
Squeeze your hand.
All right, great. Rate is fine. Tidal volumes are good. I want to get ready to extubate him. Where's my syringe? So once I see him expiring, I'll go ahead and squeeze my batteries and pull my tube out and quickly connect my mask. Mr. Manyman, take some big deep breaths for me, okay? I want to see the back collapsing and expanding, and I do see it. I see good tidal volumes. I see end tidal, and I see condensation in the tube. So that means he's breathing properly. He did have a bronchospasm, so for PACU transportation, I'm probably going to put a mask on him and perhaps a pulse ox to take him to PACU, but other than that, he should be ready to be transported. All right, so good morning, Miss PACU nerds. This is Mr. Manyman, MR number 12345. He was born January 31st, 1971. He has a history of acid reflux as well as headaches. He takes Tylenol and alprazolam daily. He doesn't have any known allergies. He had 1 IV. His blood was around 40 milliliters, and he was given 1 liter of lactated Ringers. His urine output was not monitored, and he had no labs to report, but there were a couple complications. He had a bronchospasm, for which he was given albuterol, and he was also hypertensive and tachycardic, so he was given 5 milligrams of labetalol.
Sorry.
How did I do? Did I do good?
Is that?
Did I do well?
Yeah, you did very well.
Okay.